All right, good evening, everybody. April the 10th, the year 2017, and I wanted to document some things regarding Jeffrey Weinhaus's case, and I'm just learning about it. I'm in the beginning phases of trying to gather information and, just investigating his case and trying to come to some sort of conclusion about what the facts are. But I'm sending him an email tonight. I wanted to document it. This is through Access Corrections. I can send him one message a day. To Jeffrey Weinhaus, the subject is picture of your parachute jumping type holster. And it says, "Hi Jeff, Dennis sent me a picture of the reflection of your image in the back of the vehicle." And I'm going to show you guys that here in a second. "I would like to obtain a real picture of the actual holster that you had that day to show that it matches a close-up of what is shown in that image. Do you happen to know if and how I can get a real picture of the holster you wore that day so that I can match it up with the reflection?" I should say actually with the image shown in the reflection. "Also, is it true that you were legally open carrying a .22 pistol? Do you recall the model and make of that pistol? Also, is it your position that you said, 'You don't have to shoot me, man,' or 'You're gonna have to shoot me, man'? Not that it matters all that much, and it may be that you can't recall given that you almost died a few seconds later. I am just curious if you have a position on that." I want to leave him something encouraging. Let me just say, Jesus will never leave us nor forsake us. Hebrews 13:3, and then because of Jesus and only Jesus, Rudy. Okay, so let's go ahead and fire this off to Jeff so you know what I'm going to send to him. Yeah, it's not costing me any money, so that's pretty cool. All right, I like that. Let's send the message. It's working on it. Okay, your message was sent successfully. You guys see that right there? All right, so we sent that off to Jeff. I also wanted to share with you guys this image, if I can find it. Okay, now this is the image. I'm gonna zoom in, and I wish I could zoom in. I can, yeah. Okay, I can zoom in. Yeah, here we go. Okay, let's keep going. Now that's it. That's the holster. This is the image, right? And it's from copblock.org, and that shows Jeff. And you got to understand, they're saying that the holster was on his right hip, but this is a reflection. So you're looking at basically a reflection as if you were looking in the mirror. So that would be his left hip. Yeah, obviously, right? If anybody knows how mirrors work. Okay, so then if you zoom in, that's what he's calling the holster, I guess, right there. It looks like kind of like a walkie-talkie, but I can see where it might be a holster. I'd have to see a picture of the real thing to see if it has a matching characteristics, right? But that's what they're saying is the holster. Now, if you go to the internet and you look up parachute, parachute jumping type holster, it looks something like that. I mean, there's a few holsters that look a little bit like that, right? And then if you go to Copblock and you watch the overview, parts 1 and 2, this is the picture they show, and they don't actually claim this was Jeff's gun, but you kind of get the impression they're showing a picture of Jeff's gun. So this would be his .22. Think of how idiotic it would be for Jeff to go to visit the cops, pull out a gun that's a .22. I mean, it would just be absolutely insanity, right? And it doesn't make any logical sense if your mindset is, I'm going to go visit the cops and I'm going to try to kill them, that you would pull a .22 out. I mean, and you know that the cops got 9mm and they got 40mm Glocks and a little .22. Basically, the way I view this is that Jeff knew he had a right to open carry. It's an open carry state in Missouri. And he says, you got a gun and I got a gun. That I have a right to carry a gun. And it would make sense to me that he would, open carry. That's not a problem. I mean, a lot of people in Texas open carry. A lot of my friends open carry. So that's not a big deal to open carry when you go visit the cops. I mean, they have a right to carry a gun, and what you're basically is, and you're making a statement. I got a right to carry too. But to pull a 22 out, knowing that you're outnumbered, outgunned, and, it just doesn't make any logical sense. So that's why I asked Jeff if, what caliber was his gun, if it really was a 22. Also, I'm trying to figure out what he says. I want you guys to listen very carefully. And I might have to mute my microphone and turn on the computer. All right, I accidentally ended the video. I don't know how that happened. But here's the clip where I isolated Jeff's statement just before they shot him. And as far as I can tell, he either says, "You don't have to shoot me, man," or "You're going to have to shoot me, man." But either way doesn't prove that he had his gun pulled out. But I'm just kind of interested in what he said. Not that it's proof one way or the other about whether he had his gun pulled out. Let's say that you've gone there and you're facing some evil wicked doers and they pull their gun on you. It's kind of like what Lavoie said. He says, just shoot me, because he don't want to go to prison. He's tired of living in a wicked world.
You shoot me. I'm going to meet the sheriff. The sheriff is waiting for us. So you do as you damn well please. But I'm not going anywhere. Here I am, right there. Right there, put a bullet through it. You understand? I'm going to go meet the sheriff. You back down or you kill me now. Go ahead, put the bullet through me. I don't care.
Where's Ryan?
I'm going to go meet the sheriff. You do as you damn well please.
And so if Jeffrey Weinhaus is saying, "You're going to have to shoot me, man," that does not prove whatsoever that he had his gun out or not. And it's very possible that he says, "You don't have to shoot me, man." So anyway, you guys listen to this. I'm going to mute the microphone. Listen to this, and I'll turn the volume up.
Get on the ground. Get down on the ground. You're going to have to shoot me, man. 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 You're going to have to shoot me, man.
All right. So that was the statement that Jeff made just before they shot him and actually tried to kill him. And this, where is it at? It's copblock.org. I think I've already... If you go to Google and just type in Jeffrey Weinhaus holster, yeah, frame by frame. This is a very interesting page right here, and this shows frame by frame of everything that was captured. And I would like to know if the camera was on his wrist. It's likely that the camera was on his wrist. I guess there's the frames right there. Those two frames right there where it shows his image. And these frames down here really shows the extent of his wounds. If you go down to the very bottom, I mean, this guy was shot point blank in the head. It's absolutely amazing that this guy did not die. I mean, he's shot in the head point blank with a 40 cal hollow point, and he didn't die. Absolutely amazing. 4 times, 2 in the head and 2 in the torso. But in any event, that's his address right there. Write him an encouraging letter. I think that he is the target because he was exposing corruption. I absolutely have no faith whatsoever in our law enforcement and our FBI and Department of Justice. It's entirely reasonable that they wanted to shut this man up. It's not reasonable at all that he would go visit them to pick up his computers and pull out a 22. That doesn't make any sense at all. It's entirely reasonable to me that this Folsom guy panicked when he saw Jeff with a gun, even though it was holstered, and he just couldn't stand the sight of a citizen that was wearing a gun openly. And that's absolutely legal. It's absolutely all, my friends do it. I do it on occasion. And this FBI just freaked out that a citizen would walk around open carrying a gun, and he just decided to murder somebody, and he needs to be held accountable. This guy, Folsom, that shot Jeff 4 times, needs to go to prison, and he needs to be held accountable for the wickedness, murder that he attempted to do. But we're going to write Jeff a letter. We're going to encourage him. I pray you do the same. God bless every one of you, and have a great day. Whoops.